What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Rising World. When we last left off, we pretty much, I think, had the crafting table and a smelting furnace. And we don't have anything to put into the smelting furnace yet. So we need to remedy that as soon as possible. Hey, what's up, cow? Animals are very nosy here. So, here's what we need to do. This is my plan for today. We need to go find some iron so we can smelt it in yonder furnace over there and start making some tools. What I want to do is I want to get a rake, a sickle, and a hoe and start doing some farming. So right now we're pretty much limited to absolutely nothing because I don't have any iron. So let's go find some iron and we'll do some exploring at the same time. Let's see what we've got on us here. We always want to have a couple of torches with us. Wow, do I really have 21 torches? Apparently I went crazy with the torches. Alright, so let's go, well, let's see here. We are here, so I gotta make sure we're able to get back home. So I'm just gonna wander straight off this way. Now, one of the things that we can make once we find some iron and copper is a compass, and the compass actually works surprisingly well. For right now, since we have food, I'm gonna leave all the vegetation here. So if you're wondering why I'm passing everything up, I'm gonna wait until I get the sickle. With the sickle, not only will, like with this pumpkin, not only will we get the pumpkin, but we'll also get a sapling that we can plant. Now the grass is always so long everywhere that it's sometimes hard to find where there's ore. So I usually try to jump up on top of some of these hills and take advantage of your zoom. Alright, well, something over there has gotta have ore. It's really easy to get lost in this game until you get your compass. The cool thing with the compass, now like I said, I'm not an expert at this game by any means, so there's still a ton that I'm learning, and you guys are just learning with me. The compass, I know it's got the regular needle that points like to north, and I'm assuming that's what that does, is it just continues a northern point. But there's also a little red arrow in the edge of the dial, and that always points to your current spawn position. So that's a nice thing to have, because you can just follow that little red arrow, and you know you're gonna, as long as you're following that, you know you're gonna make it home. And I think I see something that might want to kill us. Yep, we'll stay away from you. More stuff that wants to kill us. Okay, so the furnace should be over here, I think. Somewhere. Maybe. Nope, can't go down that one. Okay, so there's the furnace. Let's try up here, I guess. I can't find any ore anywhere. I apologize for that odd edit right there, but my audio completely dropped out there for a second, so I had to get that figured out. I don't know what it is, but any recording software that I know of does not like this game. It glitches out on me a lot. For some reason, this game just likes to shut off all of my software. So I guess, let's see, I totally lost track of what I was doing here. So now that it's nighttime, I guess let's just go ahead and sleep, and I will continue my iron hunt. When my audio dropped out, I had found some tungsten ore, which that doesn't really help me right now, but good to know it's there. So let's sleep real quick and then find some iron. So I explored pretty much that whole area down in there. There's a lot of rock deposits and stuff, but nothing with exposed ore. And that's one thing that I noticed in the other game, or not the other game, but the world that my son and I generated. There's ore everywhere. And you couldn't walk more than 10 feet without some kind of ore being right there. I guess it's just luck of the draw where you get your spawn. Oh, there's a bear. Definitely see getting lost in here real easy. Oh, I spy a nice looking cave over there. And yeah, that's pretty dark, but there's a ore deposit. That's probably more titanium or something. But let's go check it out. Well, it's got strawberries. Alright, it's a little spooky looking. Kind of like it's going to be a little bit of a deep drop. So let's see what this is. I still don't really recognize ore very well yet just by looking at it. So the only thing I had ore-wise in my inventory was titanium. Or, I mean, not titanium, but tungsten. And, okay, so that is tungsten again, which I'm not interested in that yet. Continue my search. What do we got in here? Not a damn thing. Hey, there's something. Now that looks like it might be iron. Man, I hope so. It's either iron or copper, I think. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, we found iron, finally. But I'm almost positive we're lost, because I've been editing through, so it took me about 20 minutes of actual walking around to find this deposit of iron. So we're nowhere near where I put my spawn. So I think we're gonna set up elsewhere. I don't know, let's see what we get out of this before we start making too many plans. Okay, well, I'm intrigued. If I found a little cave opening like that in real life, I'd go in it, so why not now? Now this is where that depth perception is gonna go all wild. Because can't tell. That looks like it might just be straight down. I can't tell. Yeah, I'm not ready to die yet. So, let's get out of here since I already got all the iron. Okay, so we found a little bit of iron, but not enough to do what we need. And once you have the anvil made, you're pretty much good, because it only takes like one ingot to make a rake and all the different tool heads that we're gonna want. Nope, there's a bunch of stuff down there. So once we get the iron, we need enough to make probably about 30 to 35 ingots, I would say, just to get us started. So let me get down in here and see what this is. That looks like it could be iron. Alright, so what are you? You are copper. Well, that's okay, because we need copper to make a compass. So I'll take it. Let's get out of here. How did I get down? Is that how I got down here? Wow. Hopefully I can get back up without dying. Get around. Nope. Okay, let's see. I think we need to take that out maybe? There we go. Ooh, what's this? And that is copper as well. I'm in copper country, apparently. Okay, what is all of that? Well, this one has a lot of stuff in it. Hopefully it's stuff that we want. That is copper also. Alright, well now I'm getting a little tired of finding copper. Aha, there we go. Oh, okay. We just need to go punch through that wall. Awesome. This is copper, or I mean iron. So used to saying copper. Sweet. So now I just gotta make sure I don't die in here. Nice. That is exactly what we were looking for. 63 copper. So that will be more than enough to get us started. So I don't know if I should stick around this area, or I almost want to find the original spawn point. I could just use a command to get there, but I don't want to do that. I always try to stay as survival-like as I can. So I think we're just going to find a new spot, because I don't even know what direction to go. It was about a 20 or 25 minute walk just to find that iron. Well, I'm not entirely sure what happened. I glitched out a little bit, and now we're not lost anymore. But so I guess that's good news that we glitched out, because now we're back to our original spot. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We need to fire up this fella here, and since I want to have some copper done at the same time, I should have plenty of stone. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a second smelting furnace, and then we'll get some copper and iron going at the same time. How's that for smart? And we're just gonna, oh, we don't have to put you sideways. There, now we got one for copper and one for iron. And I'm too short to use it. Now the funny thing is I actually am going to be too short to use this, so I'm going to have to. Where is my dirt? So I get dirt up there, and found a ton of iron, so that was a good thing. All right, so we got to build this area up a little bit, I guess, so I can actually reach into the furnace. It's kind of silly. There we go. Okay, so now to use the furnace, we just want to make sure. There, we've got copper in one hand, iron in the other. So we'll do the iron. So as long as it's in your hand, it'll automatically kind of place it into these little ingot molds here. And so you just right click it and you keep doing that until you're empty, or until that's full, whichever comes first. See, now I'm too tall. I don't know if there's a crouch or not. Alright, so I have a complaint about this game. If I have to do this every time, man. Okay, so there is that one. Turn you on. And I believe this is the copper now. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's do this. Can I take you back out? Yes, I can. Let's do this bottom half more iron, because that way I can make my tool heads right away, because I still got 39 iron left. So let's do that. Got more of that smart thinking going on. I don't know what's happening today. We'll fill you up. Okay, so we've got copper in there, or iron, and I hope that's iron in there. You better be iron. And then part copper, part iron. Okay, so we'll let you guys do your thing, and meanwhile, I think what I'm going to end up doing is we'll flatten out up there for the house, but I want to get a farm going first. That's why I want to get some of these tools. So we're going to hack up this whole area right here and get a nice little farm going. And we'll see if maybe we can find some vegetables along the way. A lot of times, because this grass is so stinking long, there's vegetables in here and stuff, but you just can't see them. So once we have the scythe or the scythe, I still don't know how you pronounce that word. I'm calling it a scythe. That's what I grew up calling it. So the scythe and the sickle. The scythe, The scythe will pretty much just cut down grass in big swaths, and the sickle will do little areas and will actually return grass blades. So you'll see when we start doing everything. When you use the rake, the grass disappears, and if you want a lawn, you have to put blades down. All sorts of stuff. So we'll let this do its thing, and we'll be back shortly. Well, it looks like everything's done in here, so let's grab everything. Now the one thing that you can't craft yet are oven mitts, so don't worry about your fingers. So in real time, I'd say that was maybe about 10 minutes that it took to smelt all of that. So I'm going to turn this one back on and just use it as a nightlight. There we go. Alright, so let's make our anvil and show you some cool stuff. Alright, so crafting stations, anvil. Now this anvil is going to get pretty much buried into the grass. You're not going to see it at first, but we'll change that once we get some of these tools built. So I'm just going to put it right here and just remember that it's even there. So we got the anvil. And now what the anvil allows us to do is, now we can make iron plates and copper plates and also different types of rods and things like that. And that's going to get us, that pretty much puts us in the metal and technical age. But this is a little bit more than what we need at the moment. So what we need to do, now that we have the iron ingots made, is go to, or wait, let's see, maybe, remember, I don't know what I'm doing here. So resources, components, that's what it is. So we go into components, and this is where we start making all of our individual tools. So we for sure want a sickle, so let's make that. A scythe, a rake, and a hoe. So that's going to definitely get us started. Hopefully I have some sticks. Alright, so now we go into tools and craft that. You, and you. Alright, so now we're all loaded up on tools. Now let's go up and sleep real fast, and that way we can see what we're doing. Alright, it's morning. We can see a little bit better what we're doing. So let's get some of this tall grass out of here, because this drives me nuts. So let's get the scythe, and this is really cool. You'll see just how tall this grass actually is. So you get it and you just left click, and now we can mow the lawn. And you see there's there's a vegetable right there that we couldn't even see before. So we're going to leave that there. I think it's lettuce. And now if we take this with the sickle, well, let's do that now. So now we took that head of lettuce, but it also gave us 3 lettuce saplings. And we can do that with any of the vegetation now. So that's going to allow us to get our farm going. And the rake and the hoe is what we're going to need in order to get that going. So I'm going to spend just like 2 minutes or so getting some of this knocked down. And then we'll, oh, there's some strawberries. And then we'll grab the rake and start knocking down some area for a farm. There, we got a little bit of an area cleared out, so that makes me feel a little bit better. I don't feel like I'm crawling through so much tall wild grass now. So let's go up here real fast, and we'll just uncover my my shelter. That thing is hard to find. Man, that looks really uncomfortable to sleep in. Well, let's map out where we want to have the farm. And I think just for shade purposes, we'll keep a couple of these trees around. So I'm just going to start going right straight out from here. I'll use this to mark it. Yeah, pardon me, pal. Pardon me. Excuse me. Pardon me. There we go. We got a nice big area cleared out now. Now let's go up here and check it out real fast. But I got it cleared back to about where that sheep is standing. So I got a little rectangle. So that'll work for now. So the next thing that we want to do is to smooth this out. Now this is one of the most painstaking, time-consuming parts of the game. And I'm OCD as hell, so that doesn't help. That when I want something smooth, it's going to be smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit of time and get this all kind of plowed down here. But I'll show you how the rake works before I go into fast forward motion. So basically all you do is you just hold down left mouse click and you just smooth down the areas, and you kind of have to do it in sections. If you try to smooth one area completely down, eventually it's just going to stop, and then you got to smooth the areas around it, and then you can go back to that area and kind of continue down. So this is what you do to smooth out areas for farming, and this is going to take a long time. So I'm not going to subject you to that. So I will be back in a little bit. Well, it's morning, and as you can see, I got a pretty good chunk leveled out. Had one little rocky area give me a problem, but once I get some more dirt, I can fill that in. But this right here took a long time. You can see by this torch how far I actually leveled it down. That's how far the torch is floating now. So let's do this real fast, and then we'll probably call it good for right now. Let's bust out this hoe and set up an area for some of these saplings. I did find a few decent saplings and a few things I've never seen before. So we got broccoli, broccoli sapling, carrots, carrot saplings, tomato saplings, strawberry, lettuce saplings. What else did we get? Well, looks like farm-wise that's about it. So where do I have them? So okay, there's our hoe. So now what we want to do is we have to make our little plantable area. So we'll start ours like right here. So you do a left click. I think even a right click does the same thing. Yeah, that was a right click. There's a left click. So they all do pretty much the same thing. So basically just do this until you have a large enough area. We don't have a ton of saplings right now, so we don't need to make too big of a farm, but at least we got something started. And as of right now, you don't have to worry about watering your crops or anything like that. You don't have to do any irrigation and stuff. I imagine that's all going to come later in the game. So let's go ahead and grab all of our saplings. Let's just fill up our hotbar with nothing but saplings here. And I don't know how far apart you're supposed to plant things. Like, I don't know if there's a minimum distance. So far, I really haven't run into too much of an issue. And I figured that the land is big enough that you don't need to plant them too close together. If we need more land, then we'll just farm it. I think that's about it. I know I'm getting hungry, so I need to... Here, let's do this with the watermelons. Now, I think in order to eat the watermelons, let me try this here. I think you have to set it down. Or, no, can you just eat it? Oh, that's right, okay. Hold mouse right, and then it slices it up into 8 pieces. So now I should have, yeah, there's 8 slices of watermelon. Now, watermelon does your thirst pretty much immediately, but it also does your hunger. And currently, I believe it's still, it actually helps your health. So your watermelon is pretty much your go-to fruit here. And when you get into dire straits there, just munch on a watermelon, good to go. So I think what we're going to do is call it good for now. And I think what we'll end up doing the next time, since we got a little bit of farm going, we still have some copper and iron, and we got a few resources going on now, so we can kind of get a little bit more comfortable, and we'll get that block bench going. I think what I want to do is I just want to get a whole row of all the crafting stations, so we have a little bit of everything, and then we'll go ahead and the block the block station is the next important one, and we can get a little bit of a actual shelter going. So we're going to do a little bit of exploring, try to find some more resources, and we'll just kind of figure out as we go what we need to do here. So as always, I appreciate everybody for watching. If you're enjoying the series, leave me a like so I know you're enjoying the series. If you have anything you'd like to add, put it in the comments below. If you want to see something built, let me know. I'll be more than happy to build it. My whole point of this series is to get other people involved and just get the popularity of the game going, because I think this is going to be a pretty sweet game. One thing that I'd like to do also, I'm kind of just playing around with this on the side. I have a Rising World server going, and I'd like to get other people involved in it and just see what kind of a cool world we can get generated here. And just the more people we get, the more different building styles we can see and things like that. And I just think it would be cool to go visit other people's neighborhoods and stuff like that and just get a couple of and just get a nice little Rising world going here. So let me know what you guys think about that idea, and I will see you next time.